organize this turnout and to march forward to tell the Trump administration that our coasts are not for sale. So I'm going to really quickly list through all of the organizations, in addition to the folks that have already spoken here. The folks that worked on this.
Just let people know what's going on. We are at the state capitol, and we're protesting the billionaire puppet. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. The fascist dictator. Sorry, the clown known as the President of the United States, from decreasing our marine sanctuaries and drilling and destroying our ecosystems for the sake of corporate profit.
Indivisible. International Marine Mammal Project. Next Gen America. The Natural Resources Defense Council. Ocean Conservation Research. Ocean Protectors Coalition. Pacific Environment. Sacred Places Institute. Save Our Shores. Sierra Club California. Surfrider Foundation. And Turtle Island Restoration Network. Together, that's how we make change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to take 1 minute just to also introduce the students from the UCs and the California Public Interest Research Group who drove up here from all the way in the back. Thank you all very much for coming. Next, I want to introduce Olga Reynolds Zapata from OC Stewards. Olga.
Buenas tardes y hola. Hace más de 40 años que la gente, toda la gente de California, habló con su voz y votó para proteger la costa para todos nosotros. Si somos de Crescent City o de Alturas, de Monterrey o de Fresno, de Chula Vista o de Victorville, la costa de California es para todos nosotros para discutir. Ser el surfer, la maestra, el granjero o el jardinero, y también el abogado. Hoy nos unimos para otra vez continuar la lucha para proteger y defender lo que amamos, nuestra costa de California. Y esta costa no se vende. No dejamos las cercas que bloquean el acceso a nuestras playas físicas. No dejamos el desarrollo de edificios en las playas económicamente más delicadas. No dejamos, no queremos, y no necesitamos la explotación para petro en las aguas de California. Nuestra costa.
Tonight is going to be the only public meeting in which people can comment on whether or not this should be allowed, and then they will just go through with it, or it won't, I guess. But kind of disturbing that there's only one opportunity for the public to speak on the matter. We're trying to find shark stewards. They're active here, and Turtle Island, they'll have some things to say about this.
I'm with the Center for Biological Diversity. In just a minute or two, we're going to march over to the Bureau of Ocean and Energy Management meeting so we can tell the Trump administration that offshore drilling and the oil spills, pipelines, and climate chaos that come with it are not welcome off our coast. We'll be doing some chanting during the march, so we're going to warm up with some chants here in just a second. First, I want to leave you with this important point. This fight is not only about the California coast. We're out here united with communities across the country because we don't want disgusting, dirty...
Put the mic toward the left, yeah.
We're united with communities across the country because we don't want disgusting, dirty, and dangerous offshore drilling anywhere. Not off California, not in the Arctic, not in the Atlantic, and not in the Gulf of Mexico. Trump Trump and his pro-drilling administration and the fossil fuel companies that bankroll it are delusional if they think that we're going to sit back and let them expand drilling in any of our oceans. 31 communities in California have passed resolutions opposing new offshore oil and gas drilling, and we are just getting started. Over the coming months, we're going to work together to protect our coasts, our communities, and our climate from new offshore drilling. We're also going to work with and support California communities that don't want drilling and refineries in their neighborhoods. Fossil fuel development from exploration to extraction to transportation to refining and combustion is a chain of death from beginning to end. We're going to show Trump what resistance to fossil fuels look like, and we're going to win. Okay, we're going to end with some chanting. Are y'all ready to go? All right, here we go. When the beaches we love are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? When the oceans we need are under attack, what do we do? When marine life we cherish is under attack, what do we do? I had two more fun ones, but I gotta give people directions. Okay, so we are going to follow the Ocean Protectors Coalition, who I believe is over in that back corner. Could you all raise your hands and let us know where you are and who we need to follow? Are we following the whale? All right, we're gonna follow the whale. Right on. Okay, before we go, just to let everyone know, the meeting, it's about 4/10 of a mile, so 10 or 15 minute march over there. Please stay on the sidewalks during the march. Look for people in the neon vests to guide you, and if you need any assistance.
So what's this have to do with sharks, you might say? Well, how could it not affect the sharks? It's going to affect every living thing in the ocean and along the coasts. But a lot of people don't know that the Farallon Islands are the Galapagos of the north. And many species of animal use it as an important hub during their migrations. Some very rare birds come through there, all sorts of whales, cetaceans, pinnipeds, but of course it's where California is really well known for white sharks, and they come to feed. And these propositions intend to shrink the Greater Farallon's marine sanctuary to allow the drilling to come into those important areas. You guys aren't shark stewards, are you?
No.
Okay. Oh my God, dude. This one is your dog.
Here, 1, 2, 3. Nice. You want one with your phone or no?
No, that's okay. All right. Thank you. It'll be posted on like Environment California. Okay. We're from Cleanwater, actually. Oh, good. Yeah. All right.
You're live, David.
Fight for all the ocean animals, not just sharks.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Oh, what a cute doggy. Hey. Oh, a shark. David. Oh, I love it.
Hi.
I know you.
Yes, you do.
Funny meeting you here.
Imagine that.
Look at your hair. Wow. I love how they're big.
Dolphins are better than sharks.
Sharks are the new dolphins. You're right.
Mark, can you roll that dolphin this way a little bit?
We have one of our people who want to carry one of our signs. Right, need a sign.
If I had an extra hand.
So we just found Shark Stewards. David McGuire, the director of Shark Stewards. During the march, we'll talk to him, get some live statements from him about exactly what's happening here. We have until March 8th, I believe it is, to sign the petition. Make your voices heard. But like I said earlier, today is the only scheduled date for a public meeting to have your voices be heard. And then they're just going to roll through with this, or somehow we're going to stop it.
Clean oceans! Now! Clean oceans!
So cute.
Stand up, fight back! 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 Stand up, fight back!
Any takers want to carry? Want to carry? Anybody want to carry it to the end?
Want to carry a big one?
I gotta watch this guy.
I'm telling you, he's going to be the most photographed dog. He is, I know.
Popular as always, buddy. The wolf bear shark.
Very clever.
Anybody want to carry this? Anybody want to carry this? Anybody want to carry this?
Yeah, oceans, we say no.
Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey.
Because I ran into the fire.
was raised 50.
Awesome. Look. Do you want to carry that? Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey.
Ho ho! Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey hey! Ho ho! Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey hey! Ho ho!
Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Drill our oceans, we say no. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Drill our oceans, we say no. No justice, no peace. No offshore lease. No justice, no peace. No offshore lease. No justice, no peace. No offshore lease. No justice, no
Protesters aren't being arrested. I guess Trump's power hasn't reached Sacramento yet. All right, if you're just tuning in, we are at the state capitol in Sacramento. Today is the only day that public opinion is being listened to at a meeting starting around 4 to 7, and we're marching on the Capitol prior to that. Several locations are being proposed to be opened for drilling. This includes shrinking marine protected areas to allow this to happen legally. And of course, what hits home for us is the Farallon Sanctuary, the Greater Farallon National Marine Sanctuary. For you shark fans, you know that's a very important place for our white sharks. But a myriad of species come through these waters. California is very special in that regard. The number of species of whales that come through, dolphins, birds, pinnipeds, fish. All at risk for corporate greed, being run by the billionaire's puppet, Trump. Of course, the Farallon Sanctuary is only one of many areas that are proposed to be shrunk, others being closed completely. The entire coast has targets, from the Arctic all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, everywhere in between.
shark.
Can you carry that and handle an interview?
I can handle a dolphin and an interview.
All right. We're with David McGuire, Director of Shark Stewards. And David, we're live on my Instagram feed. You want to just bring people up to speed on what's happening?
Great. Well, we're out here with Earth Island Institute, the Marine Mammal Project, Shark Stewards, Surfrider, any number of nonprofits who love the ocean, people advocating for ocean health and ocean rights. And right now, the Trump administration has opened up leases or consideration for leases for offshore drilling. The entire U.S. coastline is now under consideration for offshore drilling along our continental shelf, near our sanctuaries.
The entire?
All the leases are open except for a few small spots.
Wow.
So we're on a march today. We're going down to the library where the only Bureau of Energy Management public hearing is in the entire state of California. There's one hearing per state, and there's a 45-day comment period that's up on March 8th. So we're trying to come out, get a lot of comments, get a lot of support for the ocean's sake. We don't need offshore oil off our coastline.
Is that unusual for there only to be one hearing?
It's very, very unusual. It's also a really truncated public comment period. It took us 18 years to expand the Greater Carolinas National Marine Sanctuary with years and years of public comment. And they're giving us 45 days. Just the dolphin. What's it say? Save our ocean. Save our ocean, right.
Protect our ocean.
It took years and years to expand and protect the sanctuaries. There's 45 days for it all to come to an end.
Right. So the public hearing, similar to the evaluation of the National Marine Sanctuaries expansions, they're giving a really, really short public hearing. A lot of this is in violation of the Sanctuaries Act, the National Environmental Quality Act. The administration doesn't care. They're just trying to shove this stuff through. And the people here are not going to take it. We're not going to stand for oil off our coast. I grew up near Santa Barbara and saw it in 1969 when I was a little kid with birds, marine mammals. The beaches still are coated with oil. I mean, it's just it's a tragedy that will happen again and again if we allow it.
But an oil spill doesn't even have to take place for there to be damage, right?
No, just exploration. Seismic exploration has incredible impacts, not only on whales and marine mammals, but also larvae, plankton. There's less plankton where there's seismic testing. So just even going out and looking, vessel traffic, small spills that are related to the industry that have nothing to do with a large-scale blowout.
But we need oil, right? Don't we have to have oil?
We need energy, but we need to think about alternative sources. And we're smart enough, we can get away from sucking oil out of the ground and burning it and putting it up into the atmosphere. We have new technologies that need to be supported, and people also need to change their lifestyles and start to conserve more.
How long do people have to have their voices heard online? I know today's the only public hearing.
Right. Up here, down, dolphin. Today is the only hearing on this Bureau of Ocean Energy Management on the offshore exploration, but in California. And there's a public comment online on the BOEM website and all other websites like Shark Stewards that is open until March 8th.
March 8th?
March 8th is the drop dead. And hopefully they'll listen, right? So far there hasn't been a lot of listening on the other side. But this kind of goes back. There are people out here today that thought they were retired as activists in the 60s and 70s.
Let's stop until we get past the construction.
Oh, right.
And then I'll resume. Hello to all of you who are commenting. Sorry, I'm one-handing this, so I can't really type back, but thanks for tuning in. Many other protected areas in the United States in full violation have been opened up. We're trying to stop that from happening off the entire coast of California. So my channel is a shark channel. What does this have to do with sharks?
It's all integrated, all ocean life. We need plankton, we need fish, we need whales and dolphins, and we need sharks. And we're overfishing at an unsustainable rate, especially sharks. But this is more than just ocean quality. This is about the quality of lifestyle among Californians and people in America. Healthy life, a life that we can recreate in our ocean, where people can enjoy tourism, we can have sustainable fisheries without toxic waste washing up on our coasts.
The Gulf has been destroyed from BP disaster.
Right, if we had another 200 billion gallons of Gulf horizon, it would devastate hundreds of thousands of seabirds on our coastline, hundreds of thousands of marine mammals, pinnipeds, seals, fisheries that are recovering from overfishing.
Just
clean
to
water.
hide the oil, they used something called Corexit, which killed off and destroyed the marine habitat in the Gulf, just so they could hide the oil. And it's legal, as far as I researched today, as a chemical they can use to disperse oil if they have an accident in California.
Right, chemical
On the
dispersants.
list of approved chemicals.
It's almost as
And
bad
it's
as
known as a toxic, cancerous entity.
The solution to an oil spill is a toxic, cancerous entity
Absolutely.
that destroys habitats.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's not quite a solution. It just makes it go away, but it doesn't disappear.
Out of sight,
It
out of
actually
mind.
exacerbates. And they saw that on Exxon Valdez as well. All of that intertidal zone that they were spraying the dispersant ended up with complete devastation of the ecosystem.
So you're carrying a cetacean. Let's go through. Let's list all the different types of cetaceans that pass through the Greater Farallones Marine Sanctuary.
We have blue whales, fin whales, Brutus whales, minke whales, orcas, bottlenose dolphins, white-sided dolphins. Did I say fin whales? Humpback whales. We have a large population of humpback whales that feed in the sanctuary every year. We see blue whales off the continental shelf, right where they're talking about exploration and drilling. These are endangered throughout the planet. We have one of the healthiest populations of blue whales in the world off the California coastline that migrates up every summer. These are all potentially at risk due to oil spills or exploration.
Are we there?
All right, so for those of you who are tuned in and care about this, what you can do is go online, go to sharkstewards.org. The link to the petition is there, can be found there. So you can make your voice heard in that way. People are making their voices heard in person here at the California Capitol.
Nice, thank you.
So is this the library?
I love the outfit.
Thank you.
Shark dog. Dun, 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 dun. Bigger dog. I'm a shark dog. When did they start sniffing?
Come here, buddy.
Mr. Bear.
Let's get a selfie with Wolf Bear. Wolf Bear and the polar bear
Can
here.
I get the name of the person in there? I'm the British Democrat. Pardon?
Do it.
Good question. Hey, actually, you know what? Where's Ash Lau? Ash, are you around? Okay. That's all right. We'll find Ash in a minute. So, everyone, we've got about 15 minutes until the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management meeting starts. So, first we're going to kick it off with some chants. We're going to start a public town hall. We're going to have some performance art over here, which is going to be awesome in just a little bit. And then after that, we're going to go into the meeting and express our rage by typing in a comment into a computer.
I'm gonna call her, okay?
Okay.
I'll sign up. Okay. We're looking at the person who has
The computers probably don't work.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or they got 3 terminals.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump and Zinke, you can't hide. We're here to stop your ecocide. Trump and Zinke, you can't hide. We're stopping your ecocide. Trump and Zinke, you can't hide. We're here to stop your ecocide. Trump and Zinke, you can't hide. We're here to stop your ecocide.
Sorry about the shaking. My arm's getting tired.
Power like the power of the ocean, cause the power of the ocean don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the ocean, cause the power of the ocean don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the ocean, cause the power of the ocean don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the ocean, cause the power of the ocean don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the ocean, cause the power of the ocean don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the ocean, cause the power of the ocean don't stop. Alright, brothers and sisters, my name is Aaron Hughes. I work with Friends of the Earth, and I want to give a big round of applause to everybody that's here today and all the people that put so much energy into being here.
Which one is it?
Hey, we have a governor who could put a stop to this if they would get those bills passed through the legislature and sign it already. Jerry Brown, you can't hide. It's time to take the people's side.
Jerry Brown, you can't hide. It's time to take the people's side.
Zinke, Trump, you can't hide. We're going to stop your ecocide. Trump, you can't hide.
Fine, shark.
Stop your ecocide.
Shark pup, shark pup.
Just showing up. Yeah, literally just it's just like shit like that.
Let's see if we can interview the
It's just oriented. I think we might be doing like a deep sound talk with like a minute to
All right, once again, so California's Shark Stewards program invited me to this today. You can go to their website, sharkstewards.org, to find the petition to sign, make your voice heard. You have until March 8th. Today is the only public hearing, which is highly unusual. More signs of the dictatorship that we're starting to live in. Can only hope that big oil and big fishing do not get to basically have a free-for-all with the entire west coast of the United States. And that's what has all of these people fired up. Remember, they go, we go.
Todd? David, where?
You can take mine too while you're at it.
Yeah. This one's well, it depends on right? White shark.
My face run out.
Shiver a shark.
Shiver a shark?
Yeah.
Really?
For white, yeah. Others are like smooth.
Why is that? Just because shivers you saw.
I know. I'm like, maybe the only thing.
I know you're around here. Just leave some chance. Gary, where are you? All right.
David, you're extremely experienced with legislature. Can you, it's just hypothetical, but can you help explain what may have happened to cause Jerry Brown to consider this?
Jerry Brown's a politician, and politicians play political. I don't know that he's actually he hasn't come out in support of it. He just hasn't opposed it. But Governor Brown did send a letter to Zinke and to the president when Florida somehow it was said that they weren't going to drill off Florida. Governor Brown and several states actually sent letters saying, well, you're going to do it to Florida, why don't you do it to the rest of the states? They actually reneged on that. Zinke made a gaffe and got slapped down by his boss. So Florida actually is still under consideration for offshore drilling. I can't really say what's in Governor Brown's mind. He's on his way out. This is his last year. I think he's been a great governor for many causes, but he can't win them all, I guess. I'm not sure what's in his mind as far as not really coming out and resisting.
Now, most of the signs are talking about big oil, but this also has to do with changing fishing restrictions?
Yeah, part of a separate, but almost at the same time announcement was put in the Federal Register to look at any expansion of national marine sanctuaries. So that includes the Greater Farallones National Marine Sanctuary. So if that was approved and this offshore oil leases were allowed, there would be oil drilling allowed near our sanctuaries where they have been excluded under the Sanctuaries Act or by their sanctuary designation. So, we've got a national marine sanctuary. We have 40 years of bipartisan ocean protection, setting up our national marine sanctuaries, trying to recover our fisheries from overfishing. The California coastline is looking so much healthier. Fisheries are coming back. There's marine mammals. It's generating a huge ecotourism industry. And all this is placed at risk by one president, one administration for short-term selfish interests that are going to have long-term enduring ramifications.
40 years of administrations, whether they be Democrat or Republican, have helped in the recovery.
That's right.
And now this.
Starting from Nixon, who actually established the Clean Water Act and the Clean Air Act that are also being stripped, the Environmental Protection Agency that's being stripped. So it's not just the ocean, it's any environmental regulation seems to be up for grabs by this administration.
You got at least one person listening intently.
This is awesome. Wow, they actually make these now.
Yeah, that's actually his paddleboarding vest.
That's cool. I got one for Pele, just so I could lift her up around.
Where is Pele?
Pele, she's in the big ocean. We had to put her down this year.
Oh no.
Yeah, the old chocolate Labrador, the Shark Stewards mascot, is up there in ocean heaven, surfing waves, chasing balls.
Some closing words. I'm going to finally end this live feed. We've been going for about 30 minutes here.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people probably aren't aware of what's happening. It's been a little bit quiet, except for those of us, affected, that, go out to the marine sanctuary and enjoy it. Am I correct in saying that the link is available on sharkstewards.org?
Yeah, the link is on sharkstewards.org, and more information, you can make your comments to the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management. You can also make a comment for the fighting the sanctuaries expansion. Also, the Pacific Remote Islands and the Papahanaumokuakea, our marine national monuments, are also being proposed to strip these protections. So there's a lot more information on our website, and it's out there. And I think what is encouraging is that a lot of these activists were active in the 70s, and there's a lot of gray hairs here today. And I'm getting there. And they're motivated and they're activating again. And hopefully we can activate youth to do what these people did in the 70s. Our sanctuaries were generated from an oil spill off Santa Barbara in 1969 that outraged the people. They saw that devastation and they said, we're not going to let this happen to our ocean, and we're not going to let it happen to our ocean again. So we've got thousands of people here at the Capitol, and we need millions to tell Trump, leave our oceans alone.
So we definitely know better. Sometime in the past, we learned a lesson, said no, and somehow that's all being reversed.
Humans have short memories, and humans tend to act in their own self-interest. We need more people working in our own common interest.
What is this organization that's behind the decision?
Well, it's the Department of Energy and the Department of Secretary of the Interior. So William Ross, who's in charge of the Department of Commerce, has dictated to the Bureau of Energy Management to look at all offshore oil leases and potentially opening up for exploration. Alternatively, the Department of the Interior, Ryan Zinke, who's the secretary, has told NOAA they've got to look at our sanctuaries and our marine monuments for potentially opening them up for fisheries extraction and potential oil extraction as well.
What has NOAA's activity been on this issue?
NOAA's activity. NOAA has, the government being the government, the sanctuaries have to be kind of quiet or they're in
because it is a government organization.
So NOAA has to remain silent on political issues. Their scientists have filed reports, not actually coming out in opposition, but they've demonstrated the beneficial use of these sanctuaries for our economy through ecotourism, for whales, seeing the recovery of many marine species. So NOAA, I think, has demonstrated scientifically that sanctuaries are benefiting not only the ocean, but our country as a whole, economically and ecologically. There are a lot of good scientists in the government, but they're not allowed to speak. It's the politicians right now who are doing all the talking.
So the scientists are silenced, then we've got to speak louder.
Right, and I think we still need to support groups like NOAA and our National Marine Sanctuary because they're trying to do the right thing. Same thing with our national park system. Zinke's looking at stripping our national parks, charging, adding concessions. It's all about the dollar, and these national parks have been sustaining themselves for well over 100 years. People love them, the populace love them, we love using them, we love protecting open space. We don't mind donating to them, but we don't want to see them taken away.
Again, they go, we go. We got to protect our oceans, people. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Fight for the ocean. Yeah, nuts this year, though. Yeah.